Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Bizchicks TV. This is a place for tips, tools, strategies, and everything you need to take the hassle out of your hustle so that you can build a profitable business that's fun to run. Today is Tuesday. That means we have the digital diva herself right here in the house. Terry Johnson, online from New York City, is right here to help us get to know more and more about social media and digital marketing. So, without any further ado, we're going to let TJ take it away.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another week of Marketing Talk, where, as Fran said, we talk about all the things in marketing world. I like to call it because everything is, always changing. We've got updates. We've got, exciting things going on with Instagram, but we're not going to talk about Instagram today. But we will talk about the mood of social media. I think I call this check the vibe. I think I call this check the vibe. So what does that mean? That means you have, when you're dealing with people online, you have to check the vibe of what's going on. So the last few weeks we've had an event. I'm not going to mention it, but people have been a little put out, a little bit upset, and rightly so. But we're not going to get into the details. But I noticed online that a lot of people were saying that don't sell to me right now because I'm not in the mood. Because there were people that had ads running or was just like, hey, I'm running a sale, and and we're getting into Black Friday. People are starting to do their Black Friday stuff, which I think it's okay now. But let's say, oh my god, it's been 2 weeks, maybe 2 weeks ago, it wasn't great to be selling online. So I was like, okay, we need to check the vibe. And I've always said, do not put things on automatic. Like, don't set it and forget it. You can use automated tools to manage your social media accounts, but you must go in and check it, especially when you know there's an event coming up and you might want to, like, the day of that event, you might want to go, hey, what do I have going out today that's on automatic, because I need to pause it. I might need to change it. Or, and we talked a little bit about this on Friday, and I wanted to get in more into it, where you have to check the vibe. You have to read the room. You have to take the temperature. What happens when you have a child that has a fever, someone that has a fever, and you're taking care of them? What do? You have to put that thermometer. Used to be in their mouth. Now you can, we got different technology, so you don't even have to touch them to take the temperature. But you must take the temperature. How else do you know if the fever's broken? How else do you know if the patient is getting better? It's called vital signs. You have to check the vital signs. So I saw a lot of that last week, and I like to observe the conversations. Threads was good for that. Threads is really good for that. As you've heard in the news, probably there's a lot of talk about Blue Sky. If you want to join Blue Sky, you can. I'm not on it. I'm monitoring it, but I'm not on it. Just like I monitor X or Twitter, whatever we call it. Because there's still people there that are having conversations and they won't let go. And okay, that's fine. But I can go in and observe because the search feature. So, but I am on Threads. And I'll tell you why I'm on Threads and I'm sticking with Threads. Because one, I'm just tired of, and I've said this before about people have uh app fatigue. How many more apps? We gotta join this. We gotta leave here. I saw a lot of conversations about, well, I got 100,000 people on X. I don't want to leave X because the 100,000 followers. I was like, well, do you really think that 100,000 people are seeing your posts on X or anywhere? Because that's not how the algorithm works. I told you time and time again, it's not about followers. You have 0 followers and make sales, and people see your posts and shares and all of that. And I'm going to mention Instagram. They tell you what they're doing. They want shares. They came right out and said shares are the most important metric. But why are you so invested on followers? I still don't get it. But anyway, so I saw a lot of that about, I don't want to start over. I don't want to pack my bags. Well, you don't have to. You can stay there. But if you see everybody leaving. Excuse me. Everybody leaving and getting in the lifeboats. Is that a sign of what? I'm just saying.
Okay, I'm going to date myself here. This reminds me of a program. I think it was, I don't know, it was Three Stooges or something. The building was getting torn down, and people, they were going to demolish this building, and
Mm-hmm.
people were trying to stay in there. And the wrecking crew is
The
coming
wrecking
through,
ball is out
and,
there, and
but you want to stay in the building.
well, you can stay. They're tearing down the building. You're more than welcome to stay, but what's the consequences of staying? So
Right. And the police trying to get you out, everybody's trying to help you get out,
right,
but you want to
but you
stay
can
there.
stay. It's fine.
Hmm.
It's fine. But see, here we go with excuse me. Something's in the air where you're welcome to be grumpy about the out. Oh my fault. We don't live in that world. Like Fran said, that the building's being demolished, but you refuse to leave, and that's okay. So we talked about fan base on Friday. We talked about there's another one called Spill. I forgot that I have to look up. Spill was um the employees of Twitter that they wanted to have a black culture Twitter, so they did that. I have not heard any talk of it. Spill is venture capitalist based, so they must raise money. I have not heard a peep, but I wasn't looking, so I need to search on Spill. So Spill is a place where people are going, but there's this whole thing of you got to go to Blue Sky, and I'm like, no thanks, I don't want to be over there.
And okay, because our friend Barb told us about
Yeah.
Blue Sky and their terms of service.
Mm-hmm.
Not favorable for you.
And plus, Jack Dorsey doesn't. He left. The
Oh,
founder, yeah, he left. He's been gone.
okay.
This
So if y'all were following Jack, then you might need to follow him somewhere else
He's
because
gone.
he's
It's some new. And a matter of fact, I think Barb Tomlin in we're in a group. I think she posted something in there about Blue Sky. So, but just because it's the popular app or the place to go, should you go? I mean, you can go and check it out, but I'm going to give you some numbers, and I always go by numbers. That Blue Sky is going, oh, we got 60 million followers, we got 17 million followers, we got a million a day. Threads signs up 60 million people a day. Threads.
right.
Threads. So which one do you think is, well, I don't want to say win, but I want to go where the conversations are. And I've seen some people go in the Blue Sky and going, well, hello, there's nothing over there because you got to know who to follow. And it's not the same as it was before. When we signed up for Twitter in 2007, they were like, hey, you should follow this person. And that's how you found out.
Right. They
But
gave you suggestions.
yes, suggestions and this and that, and you follow them and you test it. And then if you went to events and networking events and conferences and stuff, and people say, hey, follow me on Twitter, I'm blah, blah, blah. They had many ways to do that. Well, that's not happening on Blue Sky unless somebody says, hey, follow me on Blue Sky, which a lot of people just going, hey, I'm going to Blue Sky, and you're like, okay, how do you find? So it's a different world. And I think they like Blue Sky because it looks like Twitter. And I'm like, well, sometimes when there's a change, you need to have a whole new place to go.
Right. So I got a question for you, TJ.
Yes. Yes.
Spoutable. Have you heard anything else from them?
Yes. Spoutable is still going strong. That's another one that I forgot to mention, but they're not like Spill. To me, my opinion, they're not like Spill.
Okay.
It is the people that went over to Spoutable, and this was way before. I think this was when X was going down, or before that. The founder, because I followed him on X or Twitter, and he said, "Hey, I'm building an app. Come on over." And then people were coming over because it was Twitter Lite, but it has a different experience. So the people that are already on Spoutable are there. Like they're there. They're like, I'm not going to Blue Sky. I'm not going to Threads. When Threads came out last, they were like, I'm not going to Threads. They're happy with it. So that place is good. Now, I don't know what the founder wants to do with it because it's his thing, and he's in the data and stuff like that. Um, I haven't. I just not have gone over because again, I said at the top, app fatigue. I have to
Right.
remember to go there. I do post over there for some clients. Like I'm posting there. Like, I'm still posting on X because until they tell me they don't want to be on X, I'm going to do X for them. But me, I'm like my stuff. I think I deleted mine, and I have one or two that I use, like I said, for monitoring. Hey Mark, Mark's
Hey,
here.
Mark.
And Mark says, I want the blue sky. I am enjoying it, but just for conversations. What I like the most, there is a way to block all orange enthusiasts at once. For me, that is a win. Yes, I've heard that option that is easy to block over there. I've heard that. That's one of the selling points. Um, Mark says, actually, Blue Sky has groups that you can subscribe to, and it enables you to automatically follow everyone in that group, the influencers that we know from other platforms. See, that's great. And see, they sound like things are going great, but I've heard some rumors.
I'm just like
No, no,
I
no,
don't.
not about Blue Sky. I heard something about. I was thinking Blue Sky, but this is that Twitter and True Social might be partners. Just a rumor. I don't know, but I'm just saying that you can go wherever you like. If you guys like Blue Sky, go ahead. I'm just not, me personally. I'm not signing up for it because I know I have tools that let me, because I'm in search mode, so I'm not in post mode. So again, I hear talk of, oh, Threads is horrible. Why would I do this for Mark Zuckerberg? You joined Facebook. When did you join Facebook? Way back. I can't remember. You have an Instagram. You're already in there. If you're using WhatsApp, you're already in there. Saying yes to WhatsApp and Facebook and Instagram, but saying no to Threads makes no sense to me. But that's okay. That's your right. I'm just saying I'm already there. Whatever Mark Zuckerberg got on me, he got when I signed up for Facebook in 2000, and I can't even remember. So the argument to me, it makes no sense. But that's just me. So I'm like, if you're not going to sign up because you don't like Threads, then you should get rid of all your stuff. Personally, they all track you. I don't know too much about the new owners of Blue Sky, and that troubles me. So I stay away.
I did not like when they take the content is not exclusively yours. The terms of service, whatever they were not favorable for me.
Right.
So I was like,
I'm
I'm
just saying
good.
that something is telling me to I don't. Hey, we're jumping over the cliff. I go, hey, wait a minute. Let me think about it for a minute. So that's just me. But there's enough places to go where everybody is happy. So the thing about going someplace and avoiding the others will go there. Why? Because the other group sees that you left X. The other group they're like bullies. They like to taunt and tease you. Hey, every time when you went to school, every time you saw the bully and you walked past, did the bully ignore you? They were waiting for you because it's like this, I'm getting I'm going to get at the person that, the kid that I'm bullying. And then when you stop bullying or you stand up, they kind of don't like it or they wither away or whatever. So, but then in this instance, I'm hearing that people are like, okay, the Twitter people are going, oh, everybody's leaving. Where you going? Blue Sky? Let me go over there. But see, Blue Sky has the block feature, which is good. So that sounds great. I'm just saying that personally, I don't know anything about the owners, and I would love to know more, and I will look at that. Hey, Dr. Tachi's here.
Hey,
Hey.
Dr. Tachi.
Mark says, but shopping for a gift for TJ and you're feeling stuck on what to buy, contact Mark Zuckerberg. Yeah, I'm not afraid of him. He doesn't scare me.
What I like about the meta situation with
Mhm.
Threads, you know what you're gonna get with Meta.
Yeah,
It's
I
all
called it. What did I start calling it years ago? I called it Meta World,
right.
the
They're
Death Star.
all they are all
I
connected in the
called it the
same
Death
little
Star.
mall. Yeah, you
I'm
knew
in
what
it.
you. I was like, okay,
But what I'm
I,
saying is the conversation I'm seeing about, oh, Threads is bad. I was like, but you use Facebook, you use Messenger, you have a business page, you use Instagram. Are you trying to get people to buy your stuff on Instagram? Are you using WhatsApp to talk to your friends and family? I'm
yeah.
just saying, look at it. Okay, so that's that. There's enough places to go where everybody should go. Again, we talked about fan base on Friday, and I said I love the aesthetics and the ideal of it. It's just that the neighborhood is not so great, and we
It's
don't know if they're
sketch.
going to change it or not. So
It's sketch. Okay.
it's a little sketch. So, but it's a great,
The tool
great
is
looking
good.
house. Yeah,
The tool is it has everything you need to
it does
post to do whatever
everything.
you need to do.
Hmm.
And maybe there needs to be enough people over there to overrun the present occupants. I don't
Right,
know.
but see, remember we mentioned about the owner. Like if the landlord's not going to doesn't care, is anything going to improve in the apartment building or the building that's there with the not so great sketchy people, and the landlord won't kick them out? What do? You have to move. So
Look, the cops don't even go by. They're like, we're not going. I was
yeah, so I mean, a part of all of this is checking the vibe. And
mm,
I always say you like to check in the vibe of what people are feeling, how they're feeling, what's going on. And as you know, I look at all social media in a business lens because there's a personal lens, and you're more than welcome to go wherever you want. Because I'm not recommending that personally. I'm saying for business, um, I'm checking it out to see what kind of business conversations are happening. I can get political everywhere. So
yeah,
I'm looking for the business part of it. Um, so we shall see. It's an ongoing conversation, just like with TikTok. There's an ongoing conversation that there was a dead end, and now there might not be a dead end with TikTok. Keep my eye on it. So we'll see. Till then, I say use it, but direct them to something you own the media, your website, your email list, something you pay for, where you're not 100% ownership of your email list or your website, but you got a pretty good stance of, I'm paying, so I can complain about X, Y, Z, and you better fix it because I'm going to take my money and go somewhere else. And they go, okay. But with social media, it's free, so you can see with Instagram, people complain, and the CEO goes, "Hey, we're doing this. Hey, think about that." He's giving out helpful tips, but he's like, "We're not going back to that chronological feed because AI does the work for us. We're not
right.
giving up that tool. We're not giving up AI." All right, so let's get into the notes that my lovely assistant put together for me. So I want to talk about checking the vibe, which means matching your audience mood, because we're on here business owners and we want to make sure that we're, keeping people happy or matching their level of enthusiasm or their vibe or their emotional state. Let's put it like that.
Hmm.
Because we're humans. And there's something about people that go, well, I'm going to get on social media and I'm going to sell and they're going to buy, but you take out all of the I'm a human part of it, which is the in real life part. If you had a real store, like you had a real brick and mortar, what are the things you would do if you had customers coming in face to face, human to human? Some people think, well, I don't need to do all that because we're online. I'm like, no, you still have to. You have to. It's not just they think it's an ATM machine where you take your card and put it in the machine, the money just spits out, or Cash App or whatever, where there's no interaction, no human interaction, and that's not true. So let's talk a little bit about it. So the vibe, matching the vibe, checking the vibe is about listening before speaking and adjusting your message to meet the needs in the moment. See, this is very important because you should be meeting their needs, your audience's need every time you go online, every piece of content, every touch point. But see, this means in the moment. And let me explain that a little bit because that's what we're talking about in the moment. What is the vibe of the moment? It's not what it was before 2 weeks ago. It's a very different vibe. If you can't tell it, I'm going to tell you this now. There's a very different vibe online. There are some cultures and some groups saying that they are doing this, this, and this, and this. And you better listen to them because they mean it this time. These people
Right.
are, and I'm not talking about the other side of, that side or this side. Both sides is different, totally different. So you have to think about the message of what they need in the moment. And sometimes that means, and I said this, I think I said this before, you don't have to say a thing. Who requires you as a business to say anything? Now, on your personal, go at it. But your business, you don't have to put up a black square if you don't understand what the black square means. You see, and this was back with George Floyd a few years ago, that everybody was throwing up the black square on Instagram, and people were going, well, what is that? What does it mean? Da, 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 da. And I'm like, well, I had a conversation with someone back then, and I said, well, they don't know what to say because they're in a different culture. I was like, you don't have to say anything. You can put up the black square, but know what it means and have a relevant saying, or you could say, I feel bad for everybody, or you could, again, that's gonna make people mad because now you're doing both sides. So if you're not sure about what to say, I always say step back. Homer Simpson, you move, that meme where he kind of fades back into the grass wall, or I think I mentioned about the grandfather putting his hat on and going in the bar, putting his hat on and putting it right back out because he saw something and was like, oh, I don't want to be a part of this. That's okay. That's okay. It's okay to do that until you go, I don't know what to say. And then now I know what to say. It may be a day or two. And then you say something thoughtful and relevant. Mark says, this just in, I am the vibe of the moment. You heard it here first. Yes. Yes, everybody's vibe. And I say it like that because I've had people tell, like, what do I say? What do I do? What I was like, well, don't say anything. If you don't know what to say, be quiet. Haven't we heard that in real life? Your grandmother or somebody older or elder might have said sometimes you just need to be quiet.
Right.
And that's okay. There are no rules here. Nobody's coming. The social media police isn't coming to you and you, well, what do you think? You better say something. And if they demand that from you as a brand or a business, you can say, well, I'm sorry you feel that way, but right now, we're taking a break from social media, or we're doing whatever it is. Don't let anybody bully you into giving up your opinion as a business. I've seen this discussion online on LinkedIn. I said, I think I saw some of that where it's like a business has to take a stand politically. No, you don't. No, you don't. Unless you want to. If that's your identity, yes. If you've talked about politics before and had a stance emotionally somewhere, yes, you would say something. But if someone else who's a business who's just been, I'm here on social media, I just want to talk to my customers and I want to, meet their needs and help them solve their problems. And, I've never talked about politics before. It's okay to not. There's a lot of pressure of, well, you must say something politically. No, you don't, because one, it's a confusing time. You don't know what's going on. And I always say, that's why I say you got to check the vibe. And checking the vibe means just simply going to the social media platform and seeing what's there. This is a search feature. With X, Twitter, there was trending topics. That was the best part. That is still the best part of it. It's some not so great stuff in trending topics, but that was the best part of Twitter. I could instantly go and see what was in the moment, the conversation in the moment. Threads has some of that, but they the way they have the algorithm, it doesn't show you current current posts. And it was like that was one of the complaints especially about the election. It was like people were going to threads and getting like old stuff, like 2 day old what, and we're like, wait a minute. We want the way that Twitter does it, which is in the moment. Like boom, somebody posts something 3 seconds and you can read what it says. Now is a lot of stuff that's not relevant. Remember, people were doing the news jacking on a popular hashtag. It had nothing to do with the hashtag. And it's like it's frustrating, but then I've learned how to go, okay, that doesn't, you're just jumping in, you're just jump, let me scroll, and then I get enough of it. You get a point to where you go, okay, I'm done, I'm not going to find anything that I'm looking for in the library, so I'm going to move on. So it's really easy to get a vibe check because you can go to it. I still do. I don't participate, but I go and look. Threads, I go and look. LinkedIn is a little bit of that, not current stuff, but there, if the people that I follow over there are entrepreneur business minded, so I might, there's a couple people that I might want to get their opinion on, but I follow them everywhere, so I'm going to see their opinion on, say, Facebook. I'm going to see their opinion on some other place. So there's not too many places where you can go and check the vibe like Twitter was. So that is the part that I don't like. Maybe Blue Sky will take that over. I'm not sure. Again, I'm looking at the situation, but um that's the one thing that Threads has to work on is their trending topics of the moment, but they are trying to suppress political speech over there because they don't want the negative to come in, but then you're suppressing the positive. So they got to really work on that. I'm not saying Threads is perfect. None of these places are perfect, really. None of them. So
They are not.
so I'm like, I'm gonna, okay, Threads, you listen a lot. I'm not sure to see. Well, I guess they don't have a designated CEO like they have one for Instagram. Maybe it's just, I gotta check into that. But whoever's doing the over, I think it might be. I think it might be Adam. I have to check. I think it is because I've seen him jump in and respond to people like their conversations on Threads. Um, but I believe they're aware of their lack of current, being on top of the current wave. They got to work on that. And I think they know. Okay. Um yeah, so that's what I was saying. It's about listening before speaking and adjusting your message to meet their needs in a moment, and it's critical for creating content that connects on a deeper level because you want to connect with them. You want to connect with your audience. You want to be there good times and bad times, right? So that's what I'm saying. It's all, everything's good when it's all good. Like, yeah, we're all happy. Yeah, things are, but now we're in a spot where it's not so great. So it's like you still got to know how to talk to your audience. And if you need a moment, a breath to gather your thoughts, you do that. And if you want to, you can say, "Hey guys, this is a very trying time. I need to process this. I'm taking a break, a pause, or whatever." Or you don't even have to say anything. It's up to you, is what I'm saying. So why do you want to match a vibe or check the vibe or take the temperature? It's because like I said, emotions. People engage with content that feels relatable by tapping into their emotions. You meet them where they are. Again, like I said, in real life, face-to-face human beings, how we talk to each other. You want to be empathetic. You want to, be, you want to connect, and they're happy, you're happy. They're sad, you're sad. That kind of thing. Not more of a matching, but more of a being aware of that you might be in a great spot, but there's another group of people who are not. So you want to have empathy for them. This goes into trust. Remember, we said to know, like, and trust. Again, it can't be just in the good times. It has to be, okay, everything's down now. How are people thinking? What are they thinking? What can I say? It's like a sympathy card. How do you know when to give a sympathy card? How do you know when to give sympathy? How do you, all of those things are ties into empathy. And another thing that, why you want to pay attention to this is because you don't want to make content that is out of line with the algorithm. Remember, we don't want to think about the algorithm, but it's there. So if you're making content that is out of step, there's a thumbs down button, there's a report button, there's a I don't like this, I don't like, all of those things are still signals to each platform's algorithm of, okay, well, we're not going to show your next content to anybody because this post that you put up, which was out of step, out of touch, because it may have been automatic and you didn't, reel it back before, and it went out, and people going, hey, what are you? We're in, a space here where we don't care about your business and you're selling stuff. We don't care. So those are people that are going to report, block, thumb down, whatever the tool is on the platform. You don't want that because that's gonna suppress us. But the next time when things, people start to feel a little better, and they might, want to interact with your business, and they may want to buy, or they may, be more receptive to your content. Well, you was out of step with the others, so you got suppressed. So think about that. Okay, so any questions about any of this so far? I know we are getting it, but I want to make sure that we really understand why, and that you have a choice of not engaging because, one, you don't know what to say, but two, just what I was just saying about you don't want your, you've built your audience up, you got, you've done your content, you know the messaging, you guys are vibing, and then something happens like this and record scratch, and then you go, it's off kilter or off brand or off, off road or whatever. And you're like, wait a minute, we got to get back on the road. Everything was great. Now it's not. So that's why we had to do that. So I was saying that, one of the ways was, how to gauge this, how to find it. And I said, listen to your audience. So you want to monitor comments, messages, interactions for cues about emotional state. And it's really easy. We're not robots. We know how somebody's mad, happy, upset. You get all of that, and it comes through in a post. Not 100% like face to face, but you can pretty much get a vibe. There was this is a little off track for a minute, but this someone I follow, I think she's a reverse engineer, one of the people that look at the code of the social media platform and then tell us, oh, Instagram is testing this and that. And something happened with her a while back where she lost her job or something, and the job search wasn't going great. And then she made a post of, maybe I should, unalive myself. I think basically that's what she said. And it kind of, but if you look at all her other posts, she says quirky things, and I didn't really take it too much to heart because she said quirky off things. But some people took it face to face and was rightly concerned and responding in kind and this and that. And it got to the point where she came on the next thing and said, so, I understand what you guys are doing, but you sent somebody came for a wellness check. Somebody found out through her past employment or something and got her address and told the police to go over there. Because she said the thing about, maybe because she was down. But I've seen her other posts where she says quirky things. Now, rightly so, this might be an alarm for somebody to say, hey, I don't understand your quirkiness, but I'm really concerned. You're scared. And a lot of the posts was like, you're scaring us. Please don't do, please, please, please. And then somebody went even step further, found out, her connections, I guess from a connection of a connection, whatever. And she was saying that they sent them for a wellness check, which, okay. But that's just one of the things I mean about checking the vibe, taking the temperature, seeing what's going on. So fortunately she's okay. It's just that she was in, rightly so, in a negative state of mind and said something. Now I'm pretty sure she'll rethink, posting things again. But that's just one of the examples that came up to me. Another thing you might want to do, oh, okay. Did I have more? Yeah, listen to your audience. Look at current events or trends. Yes. And also remember, you want to experiment when you get this information. You want to experiment with tone and messaging. That means checking the vibe. If everything's great and high energy, like we're going into the holiday season. This is supposed to be like a bright, shiny, happy time. And I've seen that also where people like, oh, Christmas, Christmas, and there's other people that kind of throw water on that. Like, how dare you? Don't you see where we are? So it to me, I laugh because it just shows me where everybody's mindset is different places. So yes, it's the holidays. We'll probably get into a spot where you will, be excited and talk about the holidays or whatever holiday you celebrate. This Christmas, Hanukkah, Thanksgiving, Friendsgiving. I expect to see more about that next week. But it the clouds are lifting is what I'm trying to say. So you can go back to doing that kind of high energy content, or you could do reflective content. Reflective meaning you get into a personal stories, you get into a reflective mood of, oh, remember being, this used to be, or you could say last year, da, 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 da. You could try to lift the mood in that kind of way is really, really what it is. But what you want to do is you want to check the vibe. You want to acknowledge your audience's emotions. Really, this is what it's about. And then making your content, matching your content to that current vibe based on the feedback that you get. Now, again, your community might be okay. They might be okay, and they might, like I said, they want to talk about Christmas or Christmas movies or holiday movies or whatever. But again, that is where you check the vibe of, you can take the temperature. Like I said, taking the temperature means they're tools. You can go to Instagram and put a story up. How's everybody feeling right now? I really want to know how you're feeling. Let me know if I can help. That kind of thing. And you put it in your stories, or you can put it on your feed. It's up to you. But you can also have polls in there, quizzes, let me know, and you have a box and they can put what they want, but just be prepared for people who may not be feeling great. And then, that kind of vibe will kind of, affect you a little bit. Just be ready for it. If you're going to ask people how they're doing online, be ready for, it's not going to be sunshine, rainbows, and elves and Christmas trees, that kind of thing. So just be ready for it. If you can't handle that, please don't ask. Don't ask them, I'm here to help. If you can't really do that, don't do that. You do something else. Like I said, people start to talk about Christmas. You could do that in a funny way. You can put up funny memes. You can put up last year, I da, 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 da. You can talk about personal stories. It doesn't have to be about, let's talk about this thing that happened 2 weeks ago. Let's talk about this. And you could do it in a funny way, humorous, a sad way, I'm your therapist way. I got here's some healing way. Let's talk about you think about that. And again, if you don't know, don't say anything, or you could test, put your toe out and test it and say, hey, there's a new Netflix movie. The Christmas movies are out. What do you think? And then let that be your litmus test. I'm trying to say your litmus test. Put something out as a litmus test if you're not sure. Okay. So that's pretty much what it is about, because I was like, okay, I've seen the vibe for the past 2 weeks online, because I've been here and there and everywhere and looking at things. And I feel like we're starting to come into a place where there's some kind of, not acceptance, but not the place where it was 2 weeks ago, where things were really dire. So people are starting to, not be happy, but not be in that place. Like, we're emerging from it. So you want to think about that as a business. Like, how can I say what I need to say? Do I want to be nurturing, and do I want to say, oh, I can help, let me know what your problems is. But you got to be ready for that, because some people are they might trauma dump, they might say something negative. They might, how dare you, angry. You got to be ready and say, okay, I understand how you're feeling. I will take the temperature another day. And you say that in your voice. You can put something up funny and memes. That's the whole good thing about memes. They're great. They say things without you having to say it. And the people that get the meme will get the meme. Like I brought up the Simpson ones. Those are kind of popular. There are some others, but you, again, litmus test, try one out, see how hot, okay, what's the temperature? Is it 105? Is it 110 with the thermometer? Or is it more like 99 or 100? Like, okay, things are, and that's pretty much how it's called vital signs. That's what I was trying to remember, that medical the medical community calls it vital signs. Yeah, take the vitals, so take the vitals and see what happens. And then that will guide you, lead you to the path of what content to make, to where I'm matching the vibe, checking the vibe of my audience, because you really care. Again, we care. It's not about, well, we're going to post this because we want people to buy. I don't care about you and where you are. I just want you to buy my thing. And that never works. Never works. Even more so than I noticed this last 2 weeks, was people were like really adamant about it. If you come on here and you sell, if I see you selling something, I'm gonna punch you in the mouth, kind of stuff. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. They really were serious about this. And then
Wow.
we talked about the blue bracelets. I think we mentioned that before, that some women of a certain culture felt bad, and they were like, oh, how can we silently let you know that we're with you? And the response was, we don't want silent. We don't want, they were like, oh, we'll wear blue bracelets to signal that we're safe. Well, no. I want you to tell me you're mad and go talk to your people and say why X, Y, and Z. Don't come to us and say, well, I feel bad. I have a blue bracelet. I'm okay. I'm one of the good people. We don't really need that right now. So I've seen conversations where people have said they have totally changed their attitude around other people, or when they're at work, or they work from home and do the Zoom meetings, and things have completely changed around. I don't know how long that's gonna last, but it's been 2 weeks, so it's pretty much lasting. So we'll see how that goes. Dr. Todd said blue bracelets rubbish, right? It's still a thing. So you have to be careful. And again, that's a part of checking the vibe. That's a part of empathy, of putting yourself in their in the not the victims, but you put yourself in other people's shoes. That's how you know what to say. That's how you know what to do. That's how you know where to go. Let me put myself in your shoes instead of going, oh, I want to make myself feel better. And here's a blue bracelet to say silently that I'm one of the good people and I'm with you. Silently? Silent is not what we need right now. So that community did not, some of them got it, some of them didn't. Again, you're not going to reach everybody because everybody's on a different mindset, different level, and you got to do what you got to do as a business owner. And drive, you're the captain of your business, your ship, you drive it, and do what you need to do with it. So with marketing, it's always about being a human. There's never the time where you go, oh, marketing, you don't do that. You have to say what's happening now. Because think about how, if you had a store, an actual store, and something happened and people were coming in, and you had different kinds of people coming in with different thoughts and attitudes, how would you react to each one? That is a good place to go.
Right. That is an excellent example, because you would still treat each person with dignity, respect, courtesy, the things that we should be doing anyway.
Yes.
You would do this. Hi, welcome. How are you today? What can I help you find? You wouldn't
Yes. Why do you think Walmart has greet? They still have the greeters. I haven't been in Walmart in a while.
They
They
do.
have a Walmart greet. Why do you think they had a Walmart greeter? Why? Because they knew that if you acknowledge a customer as they're coming in, human to human, that puts them in a better frame of mind instead of a store that's just sterile and just get your cart and here, buy. We don't really care about you. And then there's somebody going, "Hey, welcome to Walmart. How are you today?" And it's usually an older person who knows how to to give that kind of grandmotherly or grandfatherly vibe and put
And
you in a better mood.
and then even the snarky people who come in, I don't want nobody talking to me. Well, okay, whatever. You still gonna get a hello,
They're still
welcome.
gonna smile. They're
And they're
still
gonna
gonna greet you. Here's your cookies.
thank you so much for being here.
Because Walmart knows that even though, because Walmart, I know as a corporation not that great. I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying that the marketing tactics that they do. Again, their thing before was low prices, but it can't just be low prices because
No.
people shop for they might come for the low price, but then there's other physiological or psychological things that need to happen, and they happen unconsciously. Another example, when you go to the grocery store, why the milk and the perishables way in the, because they want you to pick up all this stuff with your cart before you get to the milk and the eggs. They don't put the milk and the egg right at the door, because then I would get my milk and egg and leave.
And
See?
and you notice that's every grocery store.
Yes,
The
because they
milk, the juice, everything is on that back aisle.
studies, they have psychology of marketing. Why things on the thing you want on the top shelf on the bottom? Do you look at the bottom shelf? No. This psychology, I'm telling you, this psychology in this marketing planning of stores. Why is it, if you're standing at the checkout, why is there gum, magazines, single candy, things that the kids want? Because you're not going to buy them unless you stand low prices and you might get beat up. Really? That what's going on?
I'm not at my Walmart, but okay. Uh,
That's see, that's just see, I'm Amazon. I got everything coming to me. So
and I do Instacart, so
yeah,
my groceries come to me, Amazon and Instacart.
right. Asmart Mark Ward says sometimes a good discount is worth a risk. So see, that's just some of the things of like, why a real brick and mortar store. Why is the layout a certain way? Same thing for department clothing stores. There's a layout. There's a reason why things are the way they are. They've done the studies and they know when you come in, like with the grocery store, you come in for milk, eggs, and bread. Usually not the gender whatever, but it's usually the males that are the wife or the partner says, okay, we need eggs and this and that, and then they go, okay, and they're going to get it, but they got to pass all. You got to wind past all of these uh uh setups and displays and this and that, and it's to catch your eye. Oh, I
So,
need that.
so at our grocery store, you know what's up front when you
What?
first come in,
What?
and you want to go to get it? There are cookies and donuts and bakery and
Mine
pastries
too.
and
The
stuff.
the,
I
the
was like,
snacks, all the snacks at the front,
yeah.
the muffins, the good stuff. And I'm like, you guys not gonna get me.
Dr. Touch said at the
Oh,
hood it
Dr.
sticks.
Touch at the hood is sticks in Walmart. Okay. Wow.
Yeah. So, how can we convert that in-store experience to the online
Right.
store?
By thinking, yeah, by remembering that yes, it's a device, it's technology. There's there could be a to B kind of sale kind of thing, but just remember that there are people behind your posts that are reading your posts, that are online following you. Asmart Ward said, I was an actor. If I have a role to play for that $5, I'll do it. So you like I said, you just have to remember there's some, and I always we said that before. I said, who are you talking to? You're talking to one person, and you set that one person up, and male, female, age wise, income, do they have kids, are they married, or their partner, this or that, do they work at, and another thing to realize, do they work at home, or do they have to drive to work and a commute, or what kind of movies they like, what kind of TV shows, and all of those things, because you're taking them in as a person. Yes, it's easy to post on social media. You just and hit post, but you need to think about it first. Because especially if you want engagement, you really got to think about it.
It's like, who are you talking to? It's, if I'm hearing you, who are you talking to?
Mm-hmm.
And what are you saying?
Yes, especially when it's not a great time. It's everything is rainbows and lollipops when we're in a good space. Because I'm just gonna post this and I'm gonna post that. I'm like, hey, ha ha, this and that. But then when something bad happens or something, there's a natural disaster or a national disaster or something that the whole world is talking about, and something went wrong or it didn't go the way you went, and there's people that are upset, and you out of step, and
There,
it's going to show, and people are going to go, okay, why are you so out of step, and you trying to sell me something? And because that's one thing we don't want to, you don't want to be sold to. Even though we want to buy things, we don't want to be oversold, or the used car salesman, as an analogy, as a stereotype of.
there was, I'm thinking of scripture or something that says, you don't sing songs and be merry when people are feeling
When there's a disaster.
of some kind of way. You kind of, like you said, you read the vibe, and you adjust yourself, even though you
Yes.
might be happy and whatever, and
Yeah.
understand that they're going through something,
Right.
and reposition your.
Right. Because I'm not saying that you have to change your attitude. I'm just saying that if you're reaching out online for your business, and you're like, hey, am I going to post this thing that's out of step because I have something set automatically, or I have a schedule, or I have a calendar, whatever system that you have to set up. Well, Tuesday I'm going to post da, 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 da. You posted it, and then something, it shows that, hey, there's not a real person behind this account. That will turn people off also. um if somebody reaches out to you and says, why, yes, respond. But if you don't know what to say, you don't have to post like on your feed. You can just let it go. One of the people I follow, I think she got married like this past, what, and she's very political. Cause I was like, oh, she gonna be really, and all her stuff is she happy. Like, I went to Disney World, we went to Disneyland, and me and my new husband and done, and she's real happy. I don't begrudge her that, because I'm like,
Mm-mm.
she's in a space where, yes, I'm gonna celebrate this and that, but she hasn't spoken about any politics or anything. Which I was like, okay, because she had a major event in her life that she's been planning for months. What do you do? Well, okay, well, I'm kind of happy, so I'm not gonna rub your face in it, but I'm gonna like, hey, we're at Disney World, Disneyland, and we went here and
Oh,
that. Her stories, she put it on her stories. So the stories, that's the good thing about stories. After 24 hours, they're gone. So
and I think sometimes we need to do business with hope, as though
yes,
we're gonna get through whatever that happened. We're gonna be okay, and we want you to be okay too. And
yes,
and I want to say, soldier on, or power on, or okay. We know this may not have been the best week, but we want you to be
Right.
remember that
And
you
I
have.
and I've seen other content where I saw another person follow on Facebook that they're in another community, and they were like, me and my partner, we gotta go. We got married in Florida, now we gotta come and get married here just in case of, there's a lot of people going just in case of this, that, and the other that they are planning, but they're not going, oh, what do we do? They're like, okay, well, we got to make a plan just in case XYZ. So I thought that was, so, as you say something to respond in kind, like, oh, I'm so sorry that you got to, I hope everything's okay. But that was the two opposites for me. Like, one was like getting married, and the other was like, well, okay, well, we got to fix our situation here, because it's getting down to where we got married at, it's not going to, may not recognize or dissolve it, and then we got to do it where we live. So
Right.
those kind of things are happening. Life situations are happening all over. Just like I said, just be open and just be empathetic, and when you come across something, you can respond or not. But again, if you're getting it, your people are coming at your business, then again, think about it in a business sense. Personal, do whatever you like. I'm just saying in a business sense. Mark says, I have focused a great deal of content recently on what many are experiencing. I do what I can. Yes, see? So Mark has a podcast where he talks about those kind of things, and he can gear his content towards that in the way that he does it. See? You do it in the way that your audience. You've been making content. You've been having conversations and messaging back and forth, and you know where they are, and you go, okay, I know what my audience needs right now. Let me give it
Right.
to them.
Mark had he put out a short little YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was yesterday, and I got
Oh,
a
let me go check.
notification, and it was about your mental health first aid kit. It was really good.
See?
It was very, very good. I sent it to somebody I knew that it would help. I was like, oh, this is good. It was very
See?
well done.
That's how things are amplified. You're going to put out content that fits for the moment. That's why I said the statement that I read, it was for the moment. Meet the needs in the moment. Not okay, everything was great before 2 weeks ago. Now it's not. So that means a vibe check, a, a, a content change. Let me not be on automatic. Let me see what my audience is saying. Let me see what's outside of my audience is saying. Then that's why I say you go to Twitter, and you can, do a look at the trending topics. You don't have to engage. You don't have to post. Just their research stuff is there. You can also take the temperature yourself with stories. Instagram stories is great for that. Or you can go to Threads, or you can go to Blue Sky. You can go wherever you want to go and take the temperature and do a search around a word or a phrase or a topic, and see what is being said just by reading other people's opinions and comments, because they're letting it fly now.
Right.
They're letting it fly. Oh, Mark says some videos too, by the way, for those who are not just audio focused. See, great. That's how you do it, Mark. That's how a lot of people who have podcasts, and it makes sense that they do a video, a live or recorded. It's on YouTube. They strip out the audio. There's your podcast, because some people may want to see people talking, or you could have the video with still image. It doesn't have to be talking. It could be some kind of other imagery, and your words are on top with the captions. That all of those things will attract the people that like that type of content.
This was really well done. Um, it was really, really well done, and I I can put the link in the
Yeah, put
chat
the
or
link in
whatever,
the chat for everybody, because I'm
because
trying
it
to
would.
see. I've been on YouTube constantly. I didn't see it, but let me make sure. Because see, that's the thing about YouTube. If you don't,
There's
you,
so
even
much.
though you subscribe, it's like whatever you've been watching. So I had a whole lot of like political stuff, and I'm like, I got to get off. So now, if I go to Mark, then that'll be a signal to show me more.
So let's see. This is what it was. So they'll know it when they see it. This is what it looks like.
Can we play a little bit, or
Yeah,
because YouTube is funny
that's
like
fine.
that.
So I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger so you can see it. Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
We all need, but usually forget about until it's too late. Mental health first aid. Think about it. If you cut your finger, you grab a band aid. If your phone battery is low, you scramble for a charger like it is the end of the world. But when stress, anxiety, or overwhelm hit, we just sit there panicking. So today, I'm giving you a mini mental health first aid kit. Quick strategies that you can actually use when you feel like your brain is about to short circuit. Ready? Step 1.
Breathe like you mean it.
And no, I'm not talking about your normal, stressed out, shallow breaths. I'm talking about deep belly breaths, the kind that make your neighbors wonder if you're training for a choir solo. Here's how. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, and exhale for 6. And repeat that a few times. Now, why does this work? It tricks our brains into thinking, oh, we're not running from a bear. We're going to be okay. Step
Ice it out.
Feeling overwhelmed? Stick your hands in a bowl of cold water or press an ice cube to the back of your neck. Now, I know it sounds weird. I know, but the cold jolts your nervous system and helps bring you back to the present moment. Plus, bonus points if you make dramatic, this is so cold faces. Those are free. Step 3.
Name it to tame it.
When our emotions are all over the place, try labeling them. Say, I feel anxious or I feel frustrated. Now, this is not just some self-help fluff. It's backed by neuroscience because naming our feelings activates the thinking part of our brains, and that helps us calm the emotional chaos. It's like putting a leash on our mental wild dog. Step 4.
Shake it out.
Literally. Stand up, shake your arms and legs, wiggle around like you are in a bad TikTok challenge. Why? Because stress gets stored in our bodies. Shaking it out releases some of that tension. Plus, it's kind of hilarious and impossible to feel completely anxious while you're flapping your arms like a confused bird. Step 5.
The 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding trick.
Now, if you're spiraling, this one is a lifesaver. Look around and find 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. This pulls you out of your head and back into the present moment. And hey, if the only thing you can taste is leftover coffee from 2 hours ago, that still counts. Step 6.
Talk to someone.
Real or imaginary. If you can, call or text a friend and let it out. If no one's available, talk to yourself like you're your own therapist. I know it sounds weird, but saying, okay, what's really bothering me? That can help untangle the mess in our heads. And bonus, there's no copay required.
I love that. That's so. I love that you doing the bar. I love you doing the voice like an echo thing. I
Right.
love that.
This was good.
I love that.
It, and I was like, oh, this is real good. I'm going to keep this in my library.
Yeah. And I was checking and well, I know it's on TikTok. So, but the thing is, just keep doing it.
That was if people are feeling some kind of way and I got that video, you know what I mean? It would, if you're, like, because one lady said, I'm just going to grieve for the next so many years. I'm like, I'm not going to go out like that. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
no,
not, it's serious.
no,
Not grieving for nothing. I'm like, I'm going to push on, but
exactly. So that that's what I'm saying, that things like that. Thanks, Mark. I love that you keep putting out little things. You don't have to put out War and Peace. You don't have to put out Citizen Kane, or it doesn't have to be an Oscar worthy thing. It just be in the moment. That's why we have stories. That's why we have the little ephemeral tools within, because you're like, well, what do I put in my stories? You just somebody screaming.
And this was 3 minutes and 35 seconds to help snap you out of something. Um, you know, and it's for the people who need to be snapped out of it, and it was done very well. I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
and see the thing is that content can be for the next thing that happens. It's not specific for okay, this was for the election. This is like for whenever.
anything,
Yeah,
anything
because there'll be more stuff.
that overwhelms you,
Right. And if
and
you
you're
put it
freaking
up and
out.
posted it and you got the title and the thumbnail and the caption and it says the right thing, that means in say 6 months, a year, whatever the time frame is, somebody's going to be searching or looking at something and then the algorithm goes, "Hey, you looked at that, look at this." And
Yep.
it could be a year later. But if you don't make it, how are they going to find it? I always said,
Right.
if you're not making the content, they're not going to find the content. It's not about, okay, well, I did this, I didn't get any views, or I got 1 view, I got 5. It's for later. That's why you make the content. That's why, people talk about the evergreen content. This is clear
That's
example of
evergreen.
evergreen content. Because we talked about the YouTube where we mentioned it before that somebody put the YouTube about how to hammer a nail or something or
Yep.
hole in the
It's
wall
still
or
out
something
there.
that's 12 years old and this thing gets millions and millions of views. Why? Because that's evergreen. That's something that somebody is going to buy a house. They may be a child today, but they're going to buy a house and that video is going to pop up.
Right. How to hammer a nail in the wall.
Because that's not a current trend of will we change that? The tool might change. You might not use a hammer, you might use something else, but then the process is going to be the same. So that's why you do it. That's why you make content. Why I think, and this ties in, why do you think you make content? Everybody comes on and like, sale, sale, sale. Yes, the sale is at the end of the journey, not the beginning. You don't want to turn them off.
And this was just some welcome here. Have a cup of tea. Okay, over
Your
in the
Walmart
UK,
greeter.
over in the UK, a cup of tea solves everything. Well, can I fix you a cup of tea? That was a cup of tea that was
Yeah.
going to help
Yeah.
in the moment.
Yeah. So it's the intent as business owners is yes, revenue and sales, but that is not the beginning point. It never was, it never is. It never is. And that's why you see the panic about, oh, TikTok, my business is dead because well, something's wrong. Oh, Instagram, my business is dead. I'm like, no, something's wrong there. Because that should be the end of the journey. Customer journey, not the beginning. Beginning is the human part. Hey, how are you? The beginning is welcome to Walmart, the greeter.
Yep.
That's the beginning. Always. It never is, oh, buy my this, buy are you know. Mm-mm. That's why when people do that, they don't find any success in being online. It doesn't work for me. Well,
Oh, because I was listening to somebody recently and they said it's not about you, it's about them, and it should always be about them. How can you help
always be?
And if they don't want your help, okay, that's a different story, but it should always be about them. Should never be about you.
Right.
Ever.
And that's where a lot of business owners falter is like, oh, I have this wonderful business and I don't care if it's sell whatever you're selling, whatever you're doing. It's not about I got this and I'm going to No, it's about who wants it. There's somebody that wants it. It may be a big group or a small group. It could be a small group that turns into a big group later. You don't know. But who are you talking to? Everybody's not your customer, but somebody is.
Right. And they want, and when they're ready, because see, here's something that I remember. Walmart is open 24 hours in my neighborhood, but I'm not going to Walmart every 24 hours. I go there when I need something.
Need it.
And they're there with the doors open and the greeter when I need it.
Exactly. That's like we have 24-hour pharmacies and stuff because there's parents or somebody that it's like 2:00 in the morning. My kid is sick. I don't have XYZ. I don't have the thermometer. I got to go get one. Everything else is closed, but the 24-hour pharmacy is open. Or they, there's a lot of stuff we do. Amazon to do the 2-hour. They will bring it to you, which I love. But
right,
you until you need it, it's there.
Right. And that people come to you because they know they can come to you for the thing that they need when they need it. But if you're what did they say, commission breath, or oh, okay, I need you. Have you ever heard the people who said, buy this from me because it'll help me get my sales, help me reach my sales goal? I'm not trying to help you reach your
But
sales
I don't
goal.
need that.
I'm not here to help
Unless
you with
it's,
your
like
sales
it's
goal.
my kid that needs to sell Girl Scout cookies. That I'm taking it to work. Because I remember I used to go in the office like, hey, somebody's kid is, especially this time of year, selling Christmas. They have that catalog with the Christmas wrap and the Christmas cookies and the candy. They cost $30, but it's like $5. I'm like, but you're doing it for the kids. I mean, I'm doing it for the kids. But other
Right.
than that, I'm like, no.
Is it something that your customers wanted from you in the first
Right.
place?
Right.
I don't. I'm learning. I've learned here lately. You don't have to try and convince somebody to buy your stuff if the stuff that you are offering has any value to them. They'll come and get it because they need what
When
you
they
have
need
to offer.
when they need it, you're top of mind. That's why I always bring up, if you're a real estate agent, you talk to everybody. You give your card out to everybody. You say everybody, because you don't know in that moment if that person is going to buy a house today, but they might buy a house in 6 months, 3 months. They might have a relative that's going to buy a house today, tomorrow, 6. You don't know, but you want to be, aha, so and so would need to buy a house or sell a house. Aha, I met so and so and so and so. Here's the card, or here's the thing, or here's the whatever, and you're in there. Because when that subject comes up of buying or selling a house, poof, you pop right. That person pops right into their head. I know so and so.
Yes, you are. You are aware. They are aware of you, even
Same
if
thing,
they're
yeah.
not buying today.
Yeah, the same thing for the lawyers. You have the little TV jingles, or the little crazy songs that they make. Call JM Lawyer. They have those little stupid songs. You don't need a lawyer today, but when you need a lawyer, there's a pain point of, I need it now. Who do I call? Oh, I remember the little jingle from the commercial or the thing or online of the little stupid songs that they have.
Mark got jokes.
Mark is funny.
No, Mark. You have not seen me at Walmart at 3:30 in the morning.
No.
Mm-mm. And
No.
then Dr. Tachi says, "Listen, as long as nobody asks me to buy that damn double good popcorn."
It's crazy. It's crazy. But then just realize that there's a reason behind everything, especially when it comes to business and marketing practices and things like that. Just realize when it's all great when everything is lollipops and rainbows and unicorns, but as soon as the dark cloud comes and things don't happen the way it was, we thought, yeah, and then it's not. It's like your team lost. What do?
That's right there, TJ.
Your team lost. What do?
What are you gonna just fold up and go away and not live another day?
Yes, the Celino and Barnes. There's a whole bunch that was floating in my head. The Celino and Barnes. They always have the little songs and the jingles, and you're like, that's so stupid. But then when you need a lawyer, what do?
Oh, I remember. You remember
Celino and
them?
Barnes. Celino. It's a reason why they do that. Lawyers know that you don't need them right then, but you're gonna need your kid gets in an accident or something or something, or homeowner or this or that, personal injury lawyer, blah 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 blah. They drill it into your head with the little song, with the little jingle.
Because up until that point, that's a really good point. Because up until the point that you need them, they are totally. An attorney is totally out of mind. They're like, I don't need an attorney. It's not one of the things that are up on the high list, right?
Right.
And then when something goes down, now you need to find one. And if I don't know you, or if I haven't heard of Celino and Barnes, I'm not calling. But because I put it out there, like we got people on the side of a bus in a crash, call Ash. That, just on the side of the bus at the stadium with the arena, with the teams and everything. You see
Yeah,
people with their ads and their little jingles all over the place. But I don't need them. I may not need them for 5, 6, 7, 8 years, but you will call them when something goes down.
exactly. But there's a reason. There's a reason why. So that's what we need to do. Just remember to check the vibe of your audience. Is it good? Is it bad? And it's not just when the Super Bowl, their team lost, or it recently it got to be something to like, whoa, like the team lost. So it's a different vibe, but
Right.
it applies. I just say check your automations, check what you're going to say. If you got to pull back, pull back. It was fine. No, there's not the social media police coming. You didn't say, you didn't put out a post saying blah 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 blah. You don't have to. If you don't know what to say, you don't say. So that's it. Okay.
This is good. Thank you very
Thank
much,
you. You're
TJ.
welcome.
Now, if you're needing to get connected, to get some personal attention from TJ, you can go to terryjohnsononline.com/info. She'd be happy to consult with you, happy to answer questions for you, help you find solutions for what it is that you are looking to do.
Yep. And I
So,
love to answer questions. I do not shy away from a question. So ask.
so yes, so make sure you go to Terry Johnson online slash terryjohnsononline.com/info to get connected with her.
Or
Reach out,
social
ask
media. Yeah.
questions.
Or
Social
social media
media.
anywhere except
Yep.
Twitter.
Okay. Yes, except Twitter. But you can
Yeah.
find her anywhere else online. Um, I just thought about something, TJ. You
Mhm.
didn't have to go and change your name or anything because this occurred,
Nope.
and now so all your stuff is now succinct, and you didn't have to. That was interesting.
Nope. No. And I probably will go to Blue Sky. I will probably get my name over there. But
Yeah,
again, like I said,
I
you
think I got my name over there
I'm
because
not sure what I did.
I know I got a name over
I
there,
gotta
but I
go
haven't
check.
been on there. So,
Because I remember there was one called Post. Remember that? We
oh
talked about
yeah,
Post.
okay. See, I'm with you. I'm tired of flipping and flopping around from place
That's
to
what I'm
place.
saying.
I don't need to
It's
be in every neighborhood.
right.
And then
Right now I'm looking and searching and seeing, because I can do hashtag, and there's another tool I think I put in Friday called Fire Sky or something that it really,
okay.
but it spits everything. It's like, whoa, it's like a fire hose. It's called the fire hose because it spits every tweet. Well, I don't know what they're calling it on Blue Sky. It's not a tweet. Whatever post they're putting out, whatever they're calling it. So
And it was the one thing that people need to understand is they still gonna need to curate their feed. I don't
yeah,
care what platform you go to because you're gonna see some crazy everywhere you go. Oh, I don't need to be in this part of the app. I need to go somewhere else. You know what I mean?
right. But
Yeah.
you can right now, if you don't want to sign up for Blue Sky, you can go over there and search. And then, like I said, there's a couple tools that I'm looking at that you don't have to have an account, but it's early days over there. So it's again oh, Dr. Tachi's on Blue Sky. Cool.
Yeah, Mark's over there too. So there's some good people over there. Just saying, check it out. I do have a Blue Sky account. I just haven't been on it.
Mhm.
Um,
Mark,
Mark,
you took my name.
Mark said I already have
I'm
Terry
going to
Johnson.
get you.
Oh, funny. So we want to thank you for tuning in today. You could have been anywhere else on the planet, but you came and spent some time with us here, whether that's live or on the replay. And we want to say thank you. We want to give you an opportunity to join the Bizchicks community. You can do that by texting Biz to 33777 or just simply go to bizchicks.net. We want to thank you. TJ will be back here next Tuesday, and this Friday we will be on Tech Life Weekly. And we got some really good things I hear coming up for this week in tech. And then Dr. Tachi will be with us bringing her media report. You can also find her on indiesuitmedia.tv. Ask Mark Ward, askmarkward.com, and the 4-minute mark for the podcast. So, you know what we're here for. We're here to help you take the hassle out of your hustle so that you can build a profitable business that's fun to run. And we will see you next time. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.